Good morning, everyone. It is 11 o'clock on Saturday, December 2nd. I meant to start this yesterday, but after work and stuff yesterday, I ended up passing out at like 8 o'clock at night and sleeping until about 10 o'clock this morning. So your girl was tired. But I wanted to start off my first Vlogmas video for the year, just talking a little bit about how things have been going and what I've got coming up here in the next handful of weeks. So last few weeks, some of you may know, I ended up in October leaving my full-time job and taking up a few different things. So I basically end up first of all, doing substitute teaching and substitute paraproing in my area and in the county next to us, which is the county that I'm from. And basically that's been going really well so far. I've been at this now for about a month and I've been loving it. I know that teaching is like such a hard thing, and especially being a parapro for the specifically more special needs kids, like kids that have autism or ADHD or just need a little bit of extra help here and there because they struggle in the classroom. It can be really tough and it can be really exhausting, but I have found to absolutely enjoy it. I have been loving it so far. The kids I've worked with have been absolutely wonderful, and there have been some hard days. I've had some really tough days with some kids, but even those toughest days have been very rewarding because by the end of the day, things get better. And really, like, it's just the kid has to have a meltdown before they end up, you know, finally kind of getting back to where they need to be and then cooperating and listening and that kind of thing. But, and it's, so those meltdowns are really for only a short period of time. And really it's because, quite honestly, the biggest thing being, I'm a new person to them. They don't know me. I am outside of their routine. I am outside of their daily day-to-day. So it's gonna be a rough day whenever you are substituting for anyone, even for the kids that you're not assigned for, the kids that are just in the classroom itself. It is so hard to adjust to new things, especially when it's a very fleeting thing, like when it's a one-off day or like a couple of days kind of thing, where it's not like a permanent change. It's really hard to make those adjustments, but the kids I've worked with have been really great. They've been, you know, super accommodating, and I've gotten to make really good relationships with a lot of the kids I worked with, like this past week. And this coming week, I'm gonna be out of school like several days. So Thursday and Friday, I was at the same school in the same classroom for the same kid, and I developed relationships with several of the other kids in the classroom. And I'm going to be going with them on a field trip on Monday and Wednesday next week. So I can further those relationships, and the school is very close to home. It's a school that I think is really cool and is really nice. Every school I've been to, the staff has been also super amazing. They've been super friendly and very opening and very, you know, welcoming for someone that's, you know, staying for only, you know, the day or couple days kind of thing. So they've been super awesome. And I heard and learned about that the school district is also doing teacher certification training. If you become a parapro within the school district, I learned that you can go and get your teaching certificate and the school will pay for it, which is a huge opportunity because I do want to become possibly a teacher. I'm still figuring out if I really want to do that because I haven't had very much substitute teaching jobs as of yet. I've mostly done paraproing at this point. But I'm interested and had been interested for a long time in being like a high school English teacher, for instance. That was one of the things I had thought about doing when I was in high school, but I was kind of deterred away from it unintentionally by a lot of people in my life because quite honestly, high school kids can be really mean. And at the time when I was in high school, I realized how disrespectful some of the students were to my English teachers in particular, and I kind of deterred myself away from it as well. And so I never really thought about going into that again until more recently, when especially I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life after leaving my normal 9 to 5 basically. And I will say that immediately when becoming a parapro, it was as if it was second nature to me. The very first day I took to it like it was something I've been doing for years. And I've been told by several of the teachers that I've worked with that you know, I'm a natural at it, that I definitely am in the right line of work, that the kids, you know, are really responsive to me, that I talk to the students really well, you know, those kinds of things. And so I've been seriously considering this idea of, you know, figuring out what school I want to work with that will give me that that work. And if I do become a full-time parapro, I think I'm going to pick somewhere closer to home, just because it's a little bit easier. It's close by, you know, it's not like I'm driving 45 minutes every day to go to work, which I don't want to do. But some days it's okay, where it's like, you know, I would like to see, especially back in my hometown, like, is this a school that I would be comfortable being in, even though I never really wanted to live back in my hometown for an extended period of time. I really wanted to move away from there if I could, because I wanted to be in a place that didn't have a lot of bad memories. But I'm trying to work through a lot of those within therapy and stuff like that. So that's also why I'm working more towards like my hometown in some ways. So in addition to substitute teaching and paraproing, I'm actually tutoring a first grader. I go to his house with his family now 4 times a week. It started off 5 times a week, but we scaled it back to 4 times a week. And I help him with his reading and his English, basically. More so just the reading aspect. He has a harder time with reading things. He's a little slower when it goes to reading, so we're working right now on building up his confidence in reading quicker. He is amazing. I work with him for the next, you know, couple weeks, and I've been working with him since the beginning of November. And it's only been supposed to be like a 6-week period, basically, or 30 hours-ish, basically. And so what has happened in the last handful of weeks is that I've seen like an actual switch happen, where when he started off, he knew very few words. He knew very few sight words, and even with stuff going on in school, he was, you know, very distracted. It was very hard for him to pay attention ultimately. But in the last couple of weeks, basically since about the week of Thanksgiving, essentially, I've noticed that he has picked up things very, very well. Now, I did, though, realize that he still has a bit of a hard time with, like, certain, like, he has a hard time with understanding certain vowels will change within certain realms, because English is a very hard language to learn, because the same sound can sound 3 different ways depending on the different consonants and vowels that are associated with it. So I took some time today, this morning, and printed off a crap ton of little worksheets that I can work with him on, because we started working with, more specifically, the short A and short I sounds, and starting to read a lot with those sounds. And so I want him to practice more with that. I don't have any reading things for him right now, because I didn't have time to find them, because I have a lot of stuff to do before I leave. I tutor him on Saturdays from 1 to 2, and it's, you know, I have to get a few things done around the house before I leave. But I've got like this short vowels worksheet that I'm going to have him work on, where it's going to be specifically the different short vowels that he can start to recognize and the words that are associated with them. So he's been doing super well. I'm so proud of him, and honestly, that has bolstered my confidence in my ability to teach, because I am having to do a lot of teaching aspects within that. So been very, very fun. And then the other thing I'm doing is I am doing shipped whenever I can, basically. I do it basically more on a part-time basis. Mostly on Saturdays and Sundays I do the bulk of it, but this morning there hasn't really been much to do as of yet. At least in my particular area, hasn't really been any things going on to where like people have made orders that I need to pick up or anything like that. So, but today is a bit of a wonky day, because after tutoring, I have to head back toward my hometown to go meet my parents for my dad's family's Christmas party, because every first Saturday of December, that family does a Christmas party where everyone just gets together, we eat, you know, it's the one time a year where I get to see that side of the family, basically. So it's always really nice. I get to see some cousins that I don't get to very much interact with. And I'm really excited too, because I know a couple of them know about my apothecary business, and so that I know that they've been wanting to talk to me about that kind of thing. So I have to take an order that my mom got during Cyber Monday to her with that, so I'm gonna take that with me. And yeah, so there's just been a lot of stuff going on the last few weeks, which is why I haven't really been posting a lot, but I'm trying to get back into posting and recording things more often, which is why I was excited to do the Vlogmas videos, because at the very least that would be something that I could put out, you know, every week kind of thing and tell you how things are going. But currently, what I'm doing is finishing up Imago by Octavia E. Butler. I'm just finishing that up. I don't have very much left of it. And then today what I'm going to be working on is very likely one of my Wheel of D20 books for the month, which I think I'm going to start with A Crown of Ivy and Glass. And I was going to annotate this in the month of November to do like a rant review kind of thing for the Wheel of D20, but I'm deciding that obviously I didn't read it in the month of November, so I'm kind of scratching that idea, and I kind of just want to like get through the book best I can. So I think I'm going to start with that this month. And I'll let you know if I change my mind. I don't really 100% know what I want to start with, but that sounds like a really good one to start with. And yeah, so basically, other than that, Saturdays are typically the day where I do a lot of content building, so filming TikToks for my business that I post to my personal TikTok, because it all kind of works together. I decided to switch my TikTok from being a business page to more of a personal page, because then I could actually use like sounds and stuff, and really like there's no need for me to have a business-based page. It's just, you know, I don't mind it being my personal and business page, if that makes sense. And then I also have to make my Facebook and Instagram graphics for the week, which currently what we're doing is working through ideas of crystals, and we're doing like a whole series on different types of crystals, what they're used for, the different sets that you can use for different things kind of thing. So I have to make the TikToks and the Instagram and Facebook graphics for those. And then I have a couple other TikToks that I have slated away that I filmed last week during Cyber Monday, where one is an order packaging video and the other is making wax melts for a customer. But yeah, so that's basically it for right now. I'm gonna head out because I gotta get, like I said, some stuff around the house done before I leave today. It's now, as I've been talking, I've now spent about 12 minutes just basically talking to you guys, so it's about 11:15, and so I need to get some stuff done. Really, I just need to get some dishes done, and I need to plan out what exactly my TikToks, Facebook, and Instagram graphics are gonna be before I leave. And then I was supposed to film my November wrap-up a couple days ago, but I forgot to, so I think I'm gonna try to quickly film that before I leave for tutoring tonight as well, just so that it's done and out of the way, and then I just have to edit it when I get back home and post it for you guys sometime this week. Anyway, so that's been just a little bit of a kind of catch up, little wrap up on how things have been going for me recently. I'm gonna go get some stuff done around the house before I head off to tutoring, and I will talk to you guys later tonight. Hello, if you hear things in the background, the TV is on. more so for the dogs than anything else because I'm home by myself. Robert is still at work and it is 7:18 at night. It's been a rough day for everybody. But today I have started my next book, which was gonna be A Crown of Ivy and Glass, but I decided to pick up a book that I meant to start for TikTok in November that I didn't actually start at all. So it's called Psychotic by Elle. Only a couple chapters into this. Really like it so far. I like the style of it. I like the character. Kind of snarky, kind of bitchy, if you will. I know that's probably not the best way to describe her, but that's the best way I can think of her. But this also has a really nice sarcastic little pixie in it. It's an urban fantasy story, so it's really, really cute. Well, I should say cute more in like, I really just like it a lot so far, and it's got kind of like vibes that I really like. Dougie is currently sniffing something that he shouldn't, and he's been a very naughty boy today. I woke up this morning and he had knocked over the trash can, so that was fun. But I am actually home and everything. I need to order some dinner because it's gonna get pretty late here soon, and I haven't eaten dinner yet. But I'm also going to be doing some auditions for voiceover stuff. I've already put out one of my 2 TikToks I wanted to get out tonight, and then I have to put out the second one, and I needed to continue this because I was going to end this on the 4th and get this out, but I decided that I was gonna do like the first couple days and then the first full week of Vlogmas because it makes more sense to do it that way. Don't ask me, it's just purely out of laziness because the last couple days have been extremely exhausting for me. So I'm gonna order some dinner, get these voiceovers done, and then I'm going to in that time eat and read more of Psychotic. So short little update, but it's what I got, so yay. Hello everyone, it is going on 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. I took a few days off from filming because honestly I was so busy with work and other stuff that it's been a time. So anyway, as of today, I am about 100 pages into Psychotic by Elle, and I actually am really enjoying this. It is extremely cool. It's basically about this woman. She had put a spell on herself to never really be able to fall in love because every man that she's loved has picked someone else basically, and so she keeps getting her heart broken. So then what happens is a couple years after that happens, she inherits a bar. Now typically what she normally does is she's kind of like an undercover like magic cop basically. This is an urban fantasy story, and some people in the mortal world know of things like fae and vampires and werewolves and gargoyles and things like that, but only a select few of them do. And one of them is the main character, Pepper's best friend, Nico, and he is an actual cop solving actual crimes. And so sometimes when things kind of are a little hairy to where he knows it's not something that is more human based, he contacts Pepper, who then joins him on these things. So he fires her after some issues that have gone awry, and essentially from there we find out that Pepper inherits a bar that used to belong to a set of twins that she was incredibly close with. And with the inheriting of this bar, she then becomes what is called the Peacekeeper. She basically is told that she is the one that is meant to keep the peace between all the different magical creatures that come through the bar because it's a safe haven for them. And so she's kind of the one, you know, the barkeep, the one that keeps the peace, the one that, you know, makes the drinks and, you know, listens to the stories and all that. And that's supposed to be her main job, but she's not really sold on that, so she says that she'll do it for a week and that's going to be it. Now in comes later this other character named Jasper, who Jasper is a daemon, or demon if you will, basically, and he is obsessed with Pepper and apparently has been for a long time, and it is something to do with what she is, which is very secret. She doesn't really have anyone in her life know what exactly she is, what kind of witch she is, and it's something where Jasper could very well either be like our villain or like our main love interest. I'm going to assume it's going to be more of our main love interest, even though Pepper has several possible love interests within this story that bounce around kind of between one and the other, in a sense where they're people that she is fawning over, but they don't necessarily reciprocate or whatever the case may be. And it's just a really cool story. I don't know, for some reason this story is a lot better than I was expecting it to be. It feels dense. It feels like a much more denser fantasy than I think it looks like it would be. And so far, it's really good. Like I said, I'm about 100 pages in, and it's about almost 400 pages worth of story. And I'm hoping that this continues really well and that there is a sequel, because I would be interested in a full-blown series in some capacity, whether it's a companion series or a direct series following Pepper specifically. But really good so far. Today is also the first day of Lightfall, which is the Aurelium winter week-long readathon, or 2-week readathon, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I do want to start something from that TBR, but I don't know necessarily off the top of my head what I want to start with. I'm going to look in my bullet journal real quick and see what I had slated. I think I'm going to start with The Daughters of Izdihar, because The Daughters of Izdihar is one of my Wheel of D20 books, and it is something that I do need to read for Lightfall. So I think I will see if I can find the audiobook on Libby, and if I can, I'll get started with that while I'm doing stuff today. I'm doing content stuff today, and also shipped when orders come in, kind of thing that I'm able to do. So I think that'll be my audiobook of choice if I can find it. But if not, not a big deal. We will make do with what we have. So that's kind of the plan for right now. I'm going to go ahead and get some other things done. I have to film a couple announcement videos for things that are coming up in January that I need to make videos for. I've got TikToks to film, and I at least need to make my Instagram, like take photos of the stuff that I'm gonna need for Instagram. Tomorrow I may reserve for making graphics for things that need to get then scheduled out, and doing editing stuff for videos and stuff like that. I think that today is going to be more the content building for the most part, other than the graphics, because the graphics don't take really too long, and they're mostly for like my business, my apothecary and tarot reading business. So I'm pretty excited to see how the day goes. And I got tutoring today at 1, so I've got a couple hours before that. So let's get rocking and rolling. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. It is 9:15, well, 9:15 actually. Been up for about half an hour or so, made myself some coffee. Last night, as you saw, I was out and about. I did some work stuff at a little coffee shop with the independent bookstore that I absolutely love out where I live. And afterwards, I went over to Target for a little bit, grabbed a few things, and then I took myself out to dinner. My husband was out visiting family. Every Sunday, he goes and visits his mom and dad with the boys. So usually, if I don't go with him, I'm by myself for much of the afternoon and the evening. So I decided to stay home and then go out to do a few things that I've been meaning to do. I worked on my graphics for this week and a little bit of organizing for editing purposes for videos. I couldn't edit any videos because for some reason my application wouldn't open, so I have to probably restart my computer for that to work. But at the very least got my graphics done that I needed to, and then, like I said, did a little bit of shopping, a little bit of, I went and got sushi for dinner, which was great. There's a really nice little sushi restaurant that's fairly cheap near where I was. And after that, I went home, I took a bath, a nice bubble bath, and it was just a really nice kind of like self-date night, which I haven't had a self-date night in a while. So that was really, really nice. But I did want to end this vlog here because I do want to start the next one here pretty soon. I just got over 100 pages of Psychotic. I think I'm on page like 120 something. Let me double check that before I sign off for the night. 128. So I'm about 35% of the way through. I'm still really enjoying it. It's just something recently I've been noticing is that it takes me a lot longer to get through physical and ebook reads. I don't know really why. I think it's because it just takes more brain power for me. So I'm trying to truck through this best I can. I am really enjoying it though. And I did still want to get through my Lightfall books, which I'm already like really behind on, but it is what it is. I'm going to do the best I can and just kind of go from there because it's kind of a more low-key readathon for Aurelium. It's kind of more just for funsies. So just going to try my best with it, see what I can do. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to head out for today. So thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you'd like to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys.